it was the first opportunity we had to compete as a team since the Olympic Games in London. So this was big for me. And I went into that competition almost wanting to prove something, I think, to myself a little bit. I wanted to be the guy that people could depend on. And consistency for me was really, really important at this time. And I'd had loads of competitions over the winter doing that World Cup circuit to work on that. So I went in full of confidence. It was an interesting experience as well. It was the first time I'd really experienced probably somebody that was one of my teammates being in the position where they felt they should have been in the team instead of me. So Lewis had just made a comeback at that point. His big goal was the Commonwealth Games in the summer, but he'd come back quite early. He'd been to the British Championships, done very well on pommel horse, and he felt that he should be in the team instead of me. So that was the first experience for me. It was quite difficult because I grew up with Lewis and he was an idol of mine, and I took that as a young 21-year-old, still super insecure. I took that quite personally. I understand now, looking back, that, you know, a sport like mine is an individual sport and you have to do what's best for yourself. But for me at the time, I didn't really understand that. And I felt that, everybody around me was then thinking, wow, Sam's made the team. Has he made the team because his coach is part of the GB setup? He doesn't deserve to be there. So I really had something to prove going into that competition. But I think the bonus for me was that my training was going so well and I was getting really good results at the international competitions that we were doing in the friendly competitions in the lead up to that. I had a lot of confidence in myself and I competed really well in that event. So I only did 4 apparatus. I did the rings, the vault, the parallel bars and the high bar. And in some ways, I did kind of get my redemption, and that really helped me. So in that team final, some of my teammates there, they struggled a little bit and didn't have the best day of competition and made a few mistakes. And I did really well, and I felt like I was able to be an anchor for the team on that day. And I smashed my routines. I actually stuck all of my dismounts on all those 4 apparatus, even the vault, got some of my best scores. And after that competition, I really, really felt that I deserved to be in this place. I am one of the best all-rounders in the country, and it was all eyes on the Rio Olympics and pushing for that World Championships and Commonwealth Games later that year in 2014. And I'd also managed to retain my high bar silver medal. So the silver medal that I got the year before making history in Moscow, I retained that and I finished second this time to the current Olympic champion. So for me, that was incredibly exciting. I stood on that podium next to Epke Zonderland, the London 2012 Olympic high bar champion, really thinking, wow, this is a realistic target for me now, being able to go to the Olympic Games and challenge for a medal.